welcome back to the Spotlight. As promised, we've got a wonderful guest on our set. We got Aaron with us, and we're going to mix it up a little bit, and we also have Becca Friedman on the set with us during the interview
segment. My first time
segment.
in this segment.
How does it feel sitting in a chair?
It's a little weird.
All right, you'll get used to it, I promise. It's a good thing. Meanwhile, let's get back to our special guest here. We got Aaron Knapp. He's a Warren resident. He's doing really good things. He's also a veterinarian. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Warren. I went to vet school in upstate New York at Cornell, and came back. Always planned on coming back to Warren. So living in Warren now and working at Parkway Small Animal and Exotic in Clinton Township.
Very cool.
Where we're a fairly large practice. We've got 9 vets there, and we see about 50% exotics, 50% dog cat there.
Now, when you say exotic animals, I mean, I guess the first thing that comes to my mind would be, lizards, iguanas, stuff like that. What's more, is that pretty much what you're looking for when you talk exotics? I mean, kind of explain exotics to me.
Majority would be birds, small mammals, which would be, rabbits, guinea pigs, things like that, but also a lot of reptiles. We don't see any venomous snakes and no primates.
And no primates.
But outside of that, and no large animal, but outside of that, pretty much everything that you'd keep in a home.
Okay. And I guess, tell me a little bit, I want to go back about Cornell. Now, I know this is one of the top schools in the nation, especially when it comes to your practice, right?
Right.
Why, is that the reason you picked Cornell? I mean, was that the goal? Like, okay, I got to get into Cornell, or?
I mean, part of it, and I did like when I went to visit there, I liked their facility and the way they did their education, but another big reason is with the exotics, which I know I wanted to go into, they've got a lot more options for learning than, like Michigan State does.
Right. Now, with the exotic animals and the reptiles and stuff like that, do you kind of prefer them over, your everyday cat and dog? I mean, is that kind of like why you got into the exotic? Is that
I think it makes it interesting, but it's nice to have a mix, so I like seeing everything equally.
Now, at your practice, what's maybe one of the more exotic animals that you've had come in?
Well, we did have a skunk in there the other day.
How'd that go?
I was only indirectly involved, but I think everything went well.
Okay.
We do get some pretty large snakes every once in a while, and the large birds always make it interesting to the macaws and things like that. So.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, we're going to get right down to business here.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this part.
You've brought some animals with you today.
Yes.
And I believe the first one is probably, I would consider it a pretty exotic one. Why don't you show us exactly what this little guy is?
So, his name is Tom, and he's a rosy boa. So they're a smaller boa species, and they come from the southwest United States.
Okay.
So they're native, fairly easy to take care of. You do have to do research with any exotic species on your species, so temperature and husbandry, because that's where most of the health issues start from.
Okay.
But I mean, once you get everything set up, as long as you can keep your temperature and humidity stable, feeding, they eat once every week or two.
Oh, wow.
Small rodents, so they're not really a very high maintenance pet. Yeah. And they're pretty handleable and nice.
How much bigger will this guy get, or how old is the one that we're looking at?
This is about it, and he's
cool.
Like 7 years old.
Oh, wow. So. And how long, I know you see, these big constrictors, big boas getting, gigantic, living for 50 some years or whatever. What's the life expectancy of something this size?
In captivity, these guys can live up to, mid-teens or older.
Okay.
Average would probably be more in the lower teens there.
Okay. Now, Becca, you want to handle it? How do you feel about snakes?
Sure.
Pass them over to Becca here. So kind of describe the texture, how would you describe him?
I don't know, snakes, I'm always surprised at how they're not, what they do feel like, so you always expect them to be kind of
wet and slimy.
Yeah, they're not at all. They're kind of soft.
I know, it's really cool. I've definitely seen, snakes and different things. Now, does it actually have teeth, or does it just swallow it whole, or how does it work?
He does have teeth, and what he does when he eats, although we don't feed live prey for his safety, but
Okay.
but he will bite on and latch with his teeth, and then he is a constrictor, so he quickly wraps up and.
So he coils up, and you just squeeze him to death, or does he constrict the air? Is that what it is? Or?
Would basically, yeah, they'd suffocate. So
Okay.
with live prey.
All right. Well,
So and even though they're
guys are
dead
very
prey, he
cool.
still
Oh
has
my
it.
goodness, he just moved really fast.
Are you a little scared of him there?
Actually, I'm not. I'm okay with snakes. I think he's kind of getting a taste of me here. Probably doesn't like what he's tasting, but snakes normally don't bother me. I think we've been on record with what bothers me
Just spiders.
from the Halloween episode and when you gave me a spider for my birthday. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But I think, okay, we can say goodbye to Tom here. If you want to pass him over here. Thank you, Tom.
He doesn't want to let go.
And we do have our next guest. And what in the world? Oh, I think we scared him a little.
Yeah. a little
He left
nervous.
us a present on our set.
This,
What is this? What are we looking at here?
this is Luna, and she's a skinny pig, which is a hairless guinea pig.
Okay. And where would something like
Yeah.
this come from?
Well,
think I've ever
guinea
seen a hairless
pigs are
one.
originally from South America, and the hairless variety was a random mutation in Canada. So
Okay.
why they were in Canada, I don't know. But care-wise, they're pretty much the same as a regular haired guinea pig.
Okay.
You do have to keep the diet varied with a small amount of pellets, free access to hay all the time, and mixed greens.
Okay. And I guess as far as, Michigan being a cold weather state, if these guys get out, they can't be good, or especially, we do also get hot summers. Is it best to keep them indoors at all times, or?
Definitely would keep them indoors. They can get sunburned,
Okay.
and they would have a rough time outside. They're species from South America to begin with, but without having hair, they'd have trouble in the cold.
Okay, and you said, what are they? They just eat mixed vegetables and then special
Yeah, guinea pig
food?
pellets, and then free access to Timothy hay.
Okay.
And big requirement they do have is a vitamin C supplement, which you can get. I like the little tablets, but there's also supplements you can add to the water.
Okay, and I guess as a pet, how would you recommend the hairless versus the hair?
I think it's
what
personal
would the
preference.
benefits be, I suppose?
It's just personal preference.
Okay.
I personally like the hairless because they're different. You don't see them, at every pet store. But personality-wise, they're pretty much the same, and care-wise.
And what was
equal.
our skinny pig's name?
Luna.
Luna. That's a very cool name. Looks like Luna's kind of checking you out over here, Becky.
Yeah.
Big beady eyes.
Watching me.
I think he needs to go to the restroom.
Yes. She's a little camera shy.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, she's very cute. Very. I don't know if cuddly would come to mind when
Yeah,
you see the hairless.
they're
But
usually not big on being handled, but you can, and if you feel they're very warm, the hair doesn't
oh yeah, very warm. Whoa,
block
that
the
is
body
interesting.
heat,
Yeah.
and they do run warmer
Oh,
than
wow.
we do.
Yeah. That's so weird.
Yeah, that is very interesting. You're a very interesting creature there, Luna. And look at the claws on that.
Yeah.
Now, do they dig? Is that why the claws are so big, or is it just that's just kind of how they roll?
That's more how they are, and I think with the haired guinea pigs you don't see the nails as much.
All right. Well, it looks like Luna's a little excited, so maybe we'll move on to our next little cuddly friend here. Let's see, who do we got next? Now, I've seen these guys before. Now, this is a rat.
The tail.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Your
Okay.
domestic rat. His name's Gordito.
Gordito?
I like that.
Hola, Gordito. So tell me a little bit about this rat. Most people wouldn't consider rats pets, more pests, but
Cute,
Yes,
isn't it?
rats
It's
are
like-
why they
actually
would be.
very good pets. They're usually pretty handleable, so actually good with kids. They're very
Really?
rarely that they bite. They're very smart. You can, teach them to to do tricks and
Really?
And they're very food motivated, which helps with training. And they're actually very
Hence the name Gordito.
yes, and they're actually very clean animals. They're like cats, constantly grooming themselves, and they can be litter trained, some easier than others. But
Wow.
It's different than you'd think.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Pretty much the exact opposite of what
Right.
the
Yeah.
stereotypical rat would be.
It's
Now, like
actually
you said,
pretty cute.
right, this is a domestic rat as opposed to, finding
Yeah.
a rat in your house and keeping him as a pet. Would you recommend that, or how?
well, you do have to
What's
worry
the
about
difference, I suppose?
diseases with wild rats because there are diseases they can pass to people,
Okay.
and they're not as likely to be tame, especially if they're older. But they are related, so
Okay.
other than that, care-wise and intelligence, they're pretty similar.
And I mean, you said you said he's pretty tame. I mean, what about other animals in the house? I mean, we probably wouldn't want him to get in Tom's cage, and we probably, I don't know.
Yes, the cats definitely show a lot of interest in him, but they get along pretty well if we have him out there. But definitely, that's why we handled him after the snake, because if my hands smell like rat and then we're handling the snake, that's a good way to get bit.
yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
so that's why we
think of
started
that.
with the snake
Safety
first.
first on the
Yes.
spotlight.
Yes.
Well, that's very cool. And what does the rat typically eat? I know wild rats will eat whatever they can.
He'll eat a little bit of everything. We do give him, treats, occasional bits of food that we're eating, but the mainstay of his diet is a rodent block, which is a formulated food for them.
Okay.
But we'll give him a little bit of vegetables, occasional meat or fruits, and
Okay.
so they
Very cool.
can tolerate a lot of different food, but you do have to be careful because they will overeat and get overweight, which can lead
No
to health
kidding.
problems.
Yeah.
Now, I know their tails are pretty much what make the rats famous. Is there anything unique about a rat's tail? Why it's so
They-
big? I mean, compared to...
They can use it for balance, and I mean they don't really, use it to grip and hang, but it's mainly for for balance and to navigate around.
Well, that's kind of cool. Now, what is a rat's eyesight like? Because I always see, they run along the walls because they can't see well. Is that a pretty accurate
They've got
stereotype with rats, or?
They've got pretty good eyesight, and they are going to be able to see in the dark a little better than we can.
Okay.
So, I mean, for the most part, they see well enough to get around by sight.
Very
But they do navigate by their sense of smell quite a bit, too. You can see him cleaning himself.
That's awesome. Yeah, exactly like a cat.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And what is our next animal? I know these might not get along too well, so we'll make sure we make the exchange very quick. Now this is a friend of Dr. Evil's from Austin Powers. I'm
Yes.
guessing.
This is Andre.
Andre,
He's a Sphinx cat.
very cool looking cat.
Yeah. I'm not
Now
a
it-
big cat fan, but I like this one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more of a dog person myself, but tell me a little bit more about this cat. Now, is this native, or where did this guy come from?
The hairless cat actually was also a mutation in Canada.
What are they
that
doing
was
up
then
in
bred for, I
Canada?
have no idea.
They don't like hair in Canada. It's cold up there. You think they want to
You
add
think
hair
they'd
to
want it,
animals?
Yeah. And he does actually have a little bit of hair you can see around his ears and
Okay, yeah.
and
Yeah,
his
it's
nose
on
and
his
his
feet.
feet there. And he was my boss actually at Parkway does breed the Sphinxes, so he
Oh, really?
was a former breeder. And once he was retired, I adopted him.
Well, that's very cool. And I guess what would set this apart from, again, a cat with hair? Is it just preference? I mean, obviously there's I guess there's a little more and a little less maintenance. I guess maintenance-wise as a pet, what do you have to worry about?
Maintenance-wise, they do take a lot more as far as cleaning and bathing goes.
Okay.
Because they don't have hair, they do get buildup of oils in their ears, on their skin, around their
Okay.
nail beds. I think he wants to go over and visit.
Sure. I noticed they like using you as a bathroom, so let's just kind of hope the cat
Yes,
stays
I
in the
think
litter.
he will refrain from that.
Yeah.
Now, does he have blue eyes?
He does
That
have
is
blue
really
eyes,
cool.
and
Oh,
if you notice, his one eye is kind of hazy there. That was from one of his girlfriends that
Oh yeah.
clawed him in the eye, but luckily we were able to save the eye, and he does have vision still there.
Oh, that's very good. Very cool. I don't know. I'm just so
I know,
weird
it's so
petting
weird. I've
people
never-
with no hair.
yeah.
And they tend to be very affectionate cats. He likes to give head rubs. Now
Really?
he's more exploring right now.
Yeah. Oh, back to you.
I was saying now, cats as a breed tend to just kind of go off on their own and kind of hide around. Is he the same way, or?
No, he likes to
He's
be on
very
a
social?
person at all times. And the Sphinxes tend to be a little more social. They like to be around people. And when they're not, they're under blankets. So
I can imagine why.
They tend to keep themselves nice and warm.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Now, did you have, any events or anything going on at Parkway that you might want to plug while you're here?
Well, we're just up at the Bayarama up in Chesterfield, but that was this past weekend.
Okay. But you guys do have events ongoing throughout the year? And
We do. I don't think we have anything coming up real soon, but
Okay.
As far
But
as
if they wanted any more information, is there a website?
yes, we do have a website,
Okay.
which is parkwayanimalhospital.com, and we're open 7 days a week, open late until 10 p.m. on weeknights, and we do have emergency all through the night, Friday and Saturday night.
Yep. And I
so-
want to say that is a good thing because he just so happens to be my dog Rocco's vet as well, and we've on occasion had to have come in late, and so it's really cool that that's available. Again, I want to thank you for being on the show. We met a lot of really cool animals, and some of the more exotic animals, they want to be pets too. So when you're going out looking for your cute cuddly dog, maybe look for the cute cuddly hairless Sphinx cat instead. I want to thank you again for being on the show. Becca, you're going to be giving us the word in just a little bit
I
here.
am, yep.
And we got a great musical performance coming up. Stick around, the Spotlight. We'll be right back.